Jaju. Jetina Madbo. Manama. Mama Celestine. Benjamin. The Mama. Hey. Abba Bazeke. My Jabba Bazeke. Yamena Boba. I met your book by Bali. I buy no by Bali. I buy no by Bali. I went by the young lady. The Dinama Guada. Danyama Guada, the book with her. And you're the book with Moka Waja. You are the woman. You are the woman. Marta de Gracia Mao. Marta de Gracia Mao. Asemapo, Tapoya, Adu Sama, Yamajama Goya, Yamajama Goya, Yada de Yame, Yada de Rosia, Yada de Wo, Asemapo, Josia, Yadi Mobliana, Yada de Apomati, Majano, Yadi, Yamano Gaya.
All right, good evening, welcome. I'm Francis Ian. So right here this evening, as usual, bring you news, information, and entertainment. This is LPR All Things Considered, but let's take you to neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire, where it's beautiful, beautiful traditional song. I'm a traditionalist, so I love this sort of song, all right?
Marina, Mama Irene, Mama Sylvie, Amade Ramone, Inyo, Zibo, Benjamin Boy, the Peladiano Yaba, Mobile Eric Way, Mamano Ade, Amose Avie, Monaranja, Erbition, Monday Blamani Pepe Yamuo.
All right, we're taking the train this evening to neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire. That is in the interest of African solidarity. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Do us a favor, just hit the share button and invite someone at this talking point this evening, because we want to consider all things considered. Meaning, if you even call in, you want to fire me up from behind this microphone, go right ahead. But make sure you fire me, you get a replacement. But let's go to Côte d'Ivoire right here, right now. Very shortly, we're going to get this program going. Updates is coming from the National Election Commission. The battle for Lofa County will be getting in full swing. Do I have the right to declare myself citizens? Can I go to Lofa and contest? Yeah, I can go. I can rally a few bucks here and go and contest. You never know. Samson told wants to leave Grandida. He wants to leave Totan to go contest in Lofa County. He's talking to Joseph Boyka. Can you imagine? And Emon Joy say he going to Bon County. Emon can't even speak a wound that he say he want to go contest. Hey, what kind of language you going to speak there? Can you imagine we eat it? Monica from Costa Rica, no blood. We say good evening and welcome. I'm Afonso Z, Salt of the Liberia Public Radio. Let me acknowledge a few folks here. We try to do that because at times we try to pick chance to do that because of your time, your energy. To be here, it is you that get us to do what we are doing. So, sometimes we have to be magnanimous, like Brother Satya, speaking big English. Yeah, that's it. That's the tradition of the country. If you can't speak big English, forget it, then you're not no man. So we want to welcome our of you, May Carrot. Welcome. If this is the first time in the house of LPR, we say good evening, good morning, to depending on your location. And of course, Lady T is in the house from the Garden City of New Jersey. These are our primetime listeners, Jesse Ferment, Carter, Jackson, and of course, Emmanuel Carley says watching from the Garden City. My man, I will be coming to New Jersey right at time to can't get pepper now, so don't buy all, please, all right? And our own man, big brother, one of our primetime, and not just on the primetime, also a contributor and a financial donor to this network because it's a public initiative as well as Lady T. That now we're going to be asking for help, because I've said on this network here, you must ask for a legitimate reason. And we believe we have enough reasons now to ask. So we're going to see, we're going to put it out there, $1, $2, $1, 50 cents. Nothing is small to us. It's when you ask for. We know our Liberian people, they can give, but they like to give for a legitimate reason. And we will count those reasons and the evidence for which we're going to be asking you. We're not a favorite of always putting cash out, Zelle, GoFundMe, no. And I told Samson, I told Amos George and the rest of the folks, and they are in for a call because you have to take some real huge baby steps in order to get assistance that you can get. Welcome, Ongert is based in the Phoenix, McKinland, the late McKinland. I'm talking about Madam Tememan Gore Harris, a good friend right here. They left us here in the Ocean State, but guess what? We are still holding the ground. Good evening, good afternoon from Phoenix, Arizona. And all of you beautiful people, as time goes by, we'll try to give this sort of recognition as another way to encourage you to share, to be with us. As the bands, you are no exception. Wilson Boy, you always, Wilson Boy, you're always here. Thank you so much. Please be sending us your comments, your observations as to how we can enhance our broadcasting, what we need to fix, what we can do to enhance quality conversations. And we are so proud of you. I've said this over and over. There's no other word that I can use or deploy because the folks and followers of LPR here, I've never seen a disciplinary group of people ever in the history of broadcasting. They engage their peers, their friends, they discuss an issue. They can do other things out there. It's okay. That's part of the civil liberties, freedoms of the press, freedom of expression. But when they come here to keep it service, civility is the hallmark. And that's what we are preaching on a daily basis. Because if we don't, then we have the electorate to be confused. They will not know their direction because they are coming. Not that they don't have work to do. Most of you are capable to do more than what we are doing, but all of us can do it. Or perhaps you just do not have the time, simple as it is. But some of us still make up time after the doubles, after the triples, and stuff like that. We still make up time to do it. Why? Because this is our calling. This is what we want to do. So we really, really do appreciate all that you're doing and you will continue to do. But hey, the pocketbook and copybook and magazine, start putting them together because we will need your help. We need your help. Now, Liberia Public Radio and Sky FM televisions in Liberia host T. Max Jirate, legendary Martin Brandt. They are the owners of Sky FM and then Sky TV in Liberia. We have been very, very selective and cautious of who we align ourselves with. Not that everything about us is perfect, it's 100%. Of course not. We are human beings. No one is infallible. But the thing here is there are a lot ahead. So sometimes you have to find a match that have same sort of a way of doing things, similar. It might not be 100%, there will be some disagreement, but those fences can be met along the way. And so our last two visits in Liberia, we've been having extensive conversations with the management of Sky FM, Sky TV in Liberia. As a matter of fact, during when my mother passed, the entire crew here, the Liberal Progressive, I don't like this guy because he's a guy who always believes people should apportion their wealth and give it to other people. But that is outside of the box. So we can talk that. But when we get off this live view, believe me or not, if it is done here, it's done. I don't care how I bash in, I disagree with him. When it is done, it's done. We went in Liberia and we had those conversations. And then lastly, everything has been finalized. So LPR and Sky FM will be sharing, or we are sharing news content. If you go on Sky Facebook page now, you want to see this last few. And a lot's going to be happening. All right. So at this point in time, this is where we believe that we will need your help. Strictly. Don't mind something talking here, or we are not need money. You not need money. Bring 100,000 right away. Then we're not asking anybody. All right. We need it. We have to give help to our sister network in Liberia. We have ours. LPR crew is in Liberia. And guess what? We are trying to make massive preparations ahead of the 2023 presidential. And not just only that. There are three major elections going to be held, the presidentials and the three legislative, and even look at the LOFA who is coming up. The media has to be in full, and not just only media. People that will do professional job, people that will be able to give a balanced size of the story, make it equilibrium. It's not about hate. I can disagree with you. It should be based on policy. And not because you're short, you're tall, or you're ugly, or just something that I just have in my belly. It's wrong. It is unacceptable, and that's just a big deceit to the general public. So we want to make sure we have the logistic needed our guys. And guess what? Our guys are volunteering. We're not paying them, so we're not giving them by his own salary, and that's what make called LPR. And for those of you in the West, especially in the USA, you know the history of the National Public Radio. Yes, it has been subsidized by government, but the government does not have authority on NPR here. NPR is a network, is a radio of the citizens. And this is why I'm a favorite. Let this program, All Things Considered. I got the permission from the NPR in my own ocean state of Rhode Island. A couple of years, I visited their studio. They had an interview, and I did willing to help. But in the meantime, this crazy Chinese virus, Donald Trump said, came and everything went down the hill. But we want to start a new conversation again. All Things Considered. You listen to the entire, very, very much informative program, correspondence reporting all over the place, professional people. And that's what we want to bring to the table. That's exactly what we want to bring to the table. Don't hate government. Media, it's not a job of the media to hate government. The media stands in the gap of the government and the citizenry to intercede, to enhance and bring the message, and the citizen help to make informed decisions. You can't be against, you can't be for. That's not your job to tell this person do this. We have to undo these sound bites, those innuendos, those falsehood, those subliminal messages that are killing our country. But when we go again, let me kind of Liberian context. Liberian loves drama. They love entertainment. Let Alfonso take out this nice African share here. Guess what? It will go viral. See what happening today. Those are kind of crazy things we love. And those things does have impact in our thought process. We act on them. I don't know how long we can say this, but we will not give up. And we intend to take this talking point, this narrative out of the hands of the politicians. Because the politicians, they are very calculative. I've said that they are very innovative. They are genius. They know how to reconstruct and retweet and redefine stuff. So to do it in a way in such that it suits them and you will not be able to ask them questions. And because their strategy is to satisfy their base. And so some of you facilitate this sort of behavior on the part of these politicians being very disingenuous. But there must be a media outlet that can break through that chain. This is why some of them are very selective. You call them, they will do research all over. Those people for me, that play it in a red place. And some of them say, don't go there, you are going in the lion den. You go there, they want to destroy you. It's not a matter of want to destroy you. We must be able to ask all of these questions now. I can't wait until you become the president or senator for Grand Jede County or representative of Grand Jede County and ask you. No. I'm telling you, LPR, SCA, we intend to change the dynamic. It's not entertaining you. And this is why we are not in the business of telling you what you want to hear. Sorry to say, if that's the purpose of you passing through here, oh, okay, Alfonso or something to or Amos George, want to be telling us, we're going to bash at CDC, bash at the opposition, bash at everybody. Yes, we bash, but we also provide alternatives to give our opinions and our views on these critical issues. It does not necessarily suggest what we are saying is perfect or that's what you should go by. But we'll try to do it in an honest context as to how we understand the issues and information that we have on hand. That's just all about it. That's just all about it. But you have other people who likes to be criticized, but they don't want to be criticized. That is not proportional in news. If something is said about the person, I must also reach out to that person to be able to give them their side of the story. Unless he or she refuses to turn out, then I should come back to my audience and say, hey, say Amos George XYZ, but I try to reach out to Amos and Amos say he is not appearing, he is not coming on LPR because he feels that LPR is maybe it's not speaking the language, the tone, what they want to hear. In fact, don't go there. It's on both sides, both the oppositions and folks that support the GOL. They tell their people, don't go to the other platform. Don't go to the other platform. Common sense you don't buy from Waterside. You don't need to waste your time and resources on your own base. Go somewhere and be able to read and change people's mind, views, opinions about you. Go and make the case. Go and make the case. They're not going to execute you. Because when that happens, people see the genuineness, the authenticity, the other side of you as a human being. Because a conclusion and indictment is being placed on your head. Oh, that man, he can't come here. He will not do this. When you go there, the same very people who verbate and literally crucify you, they say, oh, we thought this guy was not going to go down there. He's telling you, I'm not going to do this. That's not what we want to do. It's too much is at stake in Liberia. Everybody know, man, everybody want to do the right thing, but the method, the approach of how they want to do it, that is why we are asking a very simple process. Explain it. If you are saying the CDC government, George Weah is XYZ, and you want to be president to succeed George Weah, and you also more than George Weah in another version, what are you telling me? Political maturity comes in. Tolerance. Be a good listener. A leader don't just rush and talk. Some of our leaders, they act like a water and sewer faucet. By the time they things and they open it, phew, water running from Morovia to Sister River and passing going in my own town of BI. That is ridiculous. You, the supporters, are the chief facilitators of the behavior of this politician. Because when people call them, you get mad, you get upset, and you call people names. Who cares? I did that yesterday, day before yesterday. They can get vexed with me. You get very friend, you may say, it's my food. I did that with the team Gunglot, and I was doing the other guys. It's 2 days. The other hosts here, people that come in, they don't get. They are your people. They are not my people. They are not my friends. I respect them. They want to be leaders. And when we make a rendezvous, if for any reason you can't get me, you have to come back to me. If you based on exception that, oh, okay, something, then you missed the mark. But guess what? We have settled the deal. So you who are getting mad, you left in cold. Tomorrow, Team Gonglo to USA, whether the superpower, the eating power, or working on power, everybody get friends of this, friends of Kumi, friends of this. What are these people looking for? What is their long-term goal? What sort of political dividends or stuff they try to factor in? Team Gonglo, friends of Team Gonglo, will be right here about the same time tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will be right here on LPR. And guess what? The principal himself, the long-time human rights advocate, some call him poor man lawyer. He's former Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, deputy to the late Claudia Sawyer. He wants to go in the White House as well. I learned that he brought his broom on Air Morag and is here sweeping as well after he swept Capitol buildings. He didn't pick up the day, so he's here to see whether he can get something going. So Councillor Twawan Gonglo will be appearing on the Liberia Public Radio in an exclusive. And, we're going to have a good conversation. And so that has been confirmed. We have to come to the date, and perhaps we'll ask people to send in their question. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Right here, this evening, time check is 8:21 Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to the Talking Point. Oh, Lord, my man. SK, you love my propose share? All right, well, a pro man, so I got to get a propose share. Okay, we want to welcome our viewers. Just let me know if the audio is perfect. Let me know. My guy is standing by from Atlanta, Georgia, is LPR senior contributor and analyst. Amos George is in the house. The liberal is on the run, giving tons of excuses because he can't find his way out. Madam Roberts, welcome. Vivian Cannon, Lieutenant Shepard, welcome. Aliyu Samba, the former sedition. I did one all left George. We are along the way. I will call a name. It may invalid here, so we're talking. After the the constructed George Weah. This is why it's annoying. These politicians, that's who they are. Some of them, if they don't see their way, then this person become bad. They can't fix it. Ali, now you are talking to a boy. It could be you. So if they can't face you, wear it. Let me bring in Amos George is standing by in Atlanta to Georgia. Let's get a talking point going. There he is, the man himself, Amos George, of a senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Mr. George, good evening and welcome.
How you doing, Mr. So, and good evening to our beautiful audience.
Okay. How you go, my man?
Can't complain.
Well, even you complain, who you care to complain to? Who bring the case to me.
Free time, I say, with the fall down with the glass.
With the fall down glass. So, why you going contest in Bond County as well?
No, I don't have political ambition. I only want to be farmer.
You want to be what? Farmer? Why? You don't want to be representative to get your own 30K?
No. I ain't want out of money. I won't go and I won't be a farmer. That's what I want.
Oh my man, don't say that thing. Right now, when 10 people put together, they bring people. The how did I behave when they start as advocate, are doing it for the Liberian people. Nobody doing anything for me. Wherever yamming, they are yamming, stretching their vein, they're doing it for their say. When they do it at the end of the day, they say, well, oh, you know, people, they can't, people ask me. When people ask you, tell them, say, no, I was doing it for you. They would never say that. You know?
In our force.
Who don't want to be in the picture? Who don't want to be in the fries? Come on. Look at the life of now the Lord Mayor of the Republic of Liberia, Jefferson Tamba Koji. Who don't want to be there, Koji? Who don't want to be the benevolence dictator, Samuel Tuwe? You know what it means to hang with the first man of the country? Especially when you get the ears of the person. All of these people here, all these people that you're talking, yam here, that's what they want to be. When it gets there tomorrow, and this is why it's an all sons religion to me. When they come in, you know, and this one do this, they one do, oh, please give me a break. They're the same.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't exhibit that sort of quality and set themselves apart. Why, in the process of trying to seek national office, then it gives me sort of hair scratching. What the heck is going on? You know, it's crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. So I would say this. There are 2-3 reasons probably people join political parties or support political parties.
Why are these people asking for something to? Yeah, John, you want to spoil our conversation. Without something to here, we are cool, we are calm. The liberal is not getting his way on this network, so he has imposed some sort of sanction, self-sanction. He would come here, he would tell me, say, I suspended him and blah, blah, blah. So, but who knows? You know, anything can happen. Go ahead, Pa George.
Yeah. Some of us support, that is speaking in general, political parties to get job. Some support a political institution to see something better for the entire country. So there are different motives people go to support this institution. Some support it to do business. So there are different reasons people go to support the institution. But 99.9% of them are not honest to say, you know what happened? I'm supporting it. It will win. I want to work for the government directly. No. Some they would not say that. And that is sometimes troubling, you know, because if you work, you support the institution, there's nothing wrong with that. Just say, yeah, I'm working. Tomorrow, if we do, I want to play a role. Mm-hmm. Or I want to be a business person, or I just want to see the betterment of the country to put somebody whom we think is right to lead the country. This is it. There's no way that anybody will tell you that I'm supporting this institution and I don't have an interest in what the outcome of that institution would do. No.
Oh, these people want to go on strike. They want Mr. Throw back on the show. Oh my goodness. These men are going to kill me. They got he's going to kill me. He watching right now. Watching right now. So, please don't do this to me this evening, I beg you.
He's suspended by the management. So let him serve his suspension.
Go ahead.
I'm just joking. Yeah. So these are reasons people support the institution for. But our country is a little bit different. Because everybody in our country, 90% of the people, the only job they think they can get is by working for government. And outside of that, they cannot function. Take, for example, look around. Ministers, senators in the past, how many of them you can see to tell you, say, this is the business guy been saying he left government office and he's prospering? No. By the time they leave, the people, they will start going to pay for gas slip around. They will start counting the light poles. So the question is, what were you doing when you were there? And some people, they are there just to accumulate wealth, things that they didn't work for. They could not earn honestly working. So they take government job, especially in Africa and Liberia.
Talking about honestly, do we have honest politician? Do you know of any honest politician?
In Liberia,
Well, we are Liberian. What now we narrow the scope to Liberia. Yeah. Any honest politician you can count on top of your head? Or even now, let's put them in this basket right now, those that are there. And an honest one, you think?
well, the word honest might be relative, but
Probably smart. At one point,
yeah, but I can't lay my hand on any past government official that will say this person is really honest. They went into government and they left with this track record, and you can see how they live their life. No, because everybody that go there, they all grab, directly or indirectly. So really, past, present, no, that have worked in Liberian government, no.
Do you have any future one that you think of?
I will not be able to predict the future to say this person will be this, except I see what they will do. Private life, yes, I can say somebody, but in government, that is something different. Because when you are in government, then it becomes something different. That's why I say you can see the sincerity in somebody.
Yeah, welcome our man Daros Mariota. He will be bringing some news inside Grand Judet. He's signing up volunteering for LPR. He will be based in the southeastern side, and we expect to be getting some updates. Based on some of the reasons I was saying that we're going to be asking, not to interrupt you, Mr. George, we're going to be asking for public because these guys are volunteering. We're not paid in, we're not getting no money. But hey, I think they deserve to have some few logistics. We'll come up with those items. There are some people, not necessarily money. For us here, yes, we need it. But take, for example, if I want some Andreas on devices or iPad, there are other folks who have it here. One is in, but if your device is on live support, don't send it to me. Then you spoil the whole friendship. One is usable. That's all. I'm cool with it. But when I have to press the button 555 times, and then when it comes on by the time I take my iPad, then you go or you send it, oh man, then they're going to bring you up here big time. So we're going to be asking people for help now. We haven't our guys or now with SCAR and LPR, we're going to echo, and your voice is going to be echo as well. So we need that. Yeah, go ahead, Pa Josh. Thank you so much, Dara, for being up this early morning hour in Grand Judet. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to extend my thanks and appreciation from Daros that he has now signed up to be one of the correspondents in the southeastern region. And as you said, they get to enforce or report the protest. What you're saying is that because with all these guys, we cannot get news.
Oh man, yes, yeah. See here, that's you see why I was telling you, and something told people who asking for something told I said we will not ask anybody for fasting until we have justifiable reasons enough, convincing that I can come here and ask. Somebody saying to President Dan, say, hey, Mr. Dan, I say we'll be volunteering to provide data to people who are reporting from Liberia.
Okay.
So what we want to do, yeah, we got guys in Nima, Bon County. We're expanding to different places and Maryland and all of that. You don't even have to send it to me. We'll just send it, give those individuals number, and that would be cool, President Dan. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate that. Go ahead.
Thank you, President Dan. And this, because here's the thing. The information that he got bring to us is very vital because we are not there. And they also said to protect the interests of the people in that area.
Right.
Tell them what is happening there. So, and basically most time, data is one of the things they need because that's the only way they can get online. So, Mr. Dan, I just want to say thank you for giving us that opportunity that we have more people to come in because, as I said, the information is very vital, especially we are going to elections. And besides that, there are things that happen in the country people.
Yeah,
Some people are like the
it
country.
can't just be Morovia, not the
No,
Republic of Liberia. Every
no,
sector, the 16 political, take Morovia, 15 or whatever political subdivision, they all constitute what we call the Republic of
of
Liberia.
Liberia.
You can disadvantage these people for news story and just only Liberia.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
Morovia.
yeah, because stories that going on there, if nobody to flag some of the things that happening there, the central government sometimes will not look at it. So it's very important that we start concentrating in the rural area because Moreover is not Liberia. Things are happening in those areas. If they are air, a clean government attention, and people, there are
That
people there from those areas, you
Daniel
know.
Kula from Bon County. You see, and this is why sometimes when people are listening, this man, this sort of morning hour in Bon County, you think he just want to be awake? It's because he wants to know what's going on in his country. This is why the people turn on their phones and put in data. That data could be used to buy something for the next day. But guess what? They know they are too much at stake. And this is why I don't like to waste time. And I don't like when people just don't focus on the thing and begin to do things out of the way. It's the waste of the time. Somebody in Grand somebody in Bon County, somebody in Lofa, Maryland, and watching eating because of this article, African share or your coat you're wearing. No, I don't believe that. But because
No,
it's something. Kakula, thank you so much. Keep following us, send your comments, your suggestion as to how we're going to do it. And thank God, Ska. In fact, yes, so guys, we get our Mentino there, but another sister network is talking to us, so we are in conversation and all of that. Okay, so let's get to one of the subject matters here this evening. Is in courtesy of our sister network that are in Morovia. Let's watch this here and we can have a little conversation.
Fellow commissioners, fellow Liberians, development partners, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to welcome you to the headquarters of the National Elections Commission and to this press conference to provide information to the Liberian people through you on the 2022 Lofa County senatorial by-election and the 2022-2023 voter registration. Highlighting Lofa County senatorial by-elections. Members of the press, as you are aware, the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia, in its ruling on 3rd June 2022, declared Section 8.52 of the CPP's Framework Agreement on Constitution. The NEC has enforced the mandate of the court, and the referenced candidate has been qualified, in addition to the 5 other candidates, making it a total of 6 candidates that are qualified to participate in the 2022 Lofa County senatorial by-election. Final list of candidates was published earlier today, Tuesday, 14 June 2022. Lofa County senatorial by-election day, ladies and gentlemen of the press, fellow Liberians, as you may be aware, the NEC earlier informed the Honorable Legislature about the non-feasibility of the May 10 dates for the conduct of the Lofa senatorial by-election. With the ruling of the Honorable Supreme Court, the Commission is awaiting the joint resolution on the new date for the by-election. We are also pleased to inform you, members of the press, that 254,100 ballot papers for the senatorial by-elections in Lofa County arrived in the country via the Roberts International Airport on Monday, 13 June 2022, and are now stored in the next central warehouse under tight security, pending deployment to Lofa. Additionally, the Commission brought in 477 tactile ballot guides to assist visually impaired persons during the voting exercise, highlighting recruitment, training, and civic and voter education activities. The NEC further informs you that close to 2,000 temporary election workers have been recruited for the by-election, and training commenced today, 14 June 2022. Additionally, 5 community-based organizations are participating in the NEC civic and voter education cells. They have been hired to educate and inform the citizens of Lufa about the senatorial by-election. Highlighting the voter registration of 2022-2023, members of the press, fellow Liberians, the NEC has previously informed you that it was making a transition from optical mark recognition or OMR system of voter registration to biometric technology for voter registration. The Board of Commissioners reaffirms its earlier decision to use biometric technology for voter registration for the 2020, 2022, 2023 voter registration exercise. On the 2023 general elections funding, ladies and gentlemen of the press, as you may be aware, the NEC, working with the government of Liberia, adjusted the 2023 comprehensive elections budget to $61 million, of which $20 million was approved in the 2022, that is January to December fiscal year budget. The NEC has requested the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning for the $20 million in time for the NEC to release the tentative schedule for voter registration.
Mr. George, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. You know that lady?
The other Brown?
Brown.
Lasana?
Lasana is a NEC. I don't know what has become her case. Okay, that's a different thing here. But it's crystal clear that the political maritime for Lofa County will get in full swing. But what is still unclear, the amount requested for. And this is where the problem is. All of these people, committees that have oversight responsibility over the electoral process, and sometimes it falls right on us. They put out their budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
Elections are costly. This is no play to get. If you want to have a free, fair, and well-organized election, it's costly. As the local organization around here that conducts election, I'm not to talk about a national election, 60 million, and they said what, 21 approved. Mm-hmm. From what I understood, what she's saying right there today, up to if there's anything changed today, well, probably we'll get that. I don't think the funding has been made available to even get the process. So that's the alarm she is issuing right now. They need to get it so that we'll come up with a new timetable and be able to work within the framework of that timetable. Have even the logistic ballots, according to her, they are all in the country, but that's not it. There are a lot of logistic need. They're talking about training. I don't see, I watched that. I didn't see Q&A section where the training is being conducted, and if journalists have even gone there, who those people that have been trained, blah, 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 blah. So there's some sort of ambiguity still in there. We like to manage crisis, and we are not known for managing crisis. I believe in the method of preventing crisis. That is, right now, they need to do everything. You're not hearing any lawmaker talking that much. They are not saying anything to make this election commission to empower them to provide the funding to do everything possible they can, so the national government will provide the funding so that everything will just be right on time to go. We're waiting on the eve of the election, then hell going to break loose. Is the credibility of the election commission, considering what happens in the past, everything is restored now. Everybody will go to sleep and lay down fine. The election is okay. But when a council doesn't win the election, then it's a bad election commission. The commission is corrupt. The commission is this. The commission is that. Is the commission is okay now to conduct free and fair elections ahead?
No.
Why?
I have not seen a track record of being successfully hindering elections since Mrs. Liberia Brown last night took over. Results have all been a problem in Liberia. So I don't see any track record of the election being to say that the election will be free and fair, because the record is not there for them. We saw the last election it took, I think, 2 months ago, before they had to certify one candidate from my home county or Bone County. So why would the election commission take that long to certify a candidate that they say won? So they don't have, this particular commission don't have a track record of doing anything other than honestly doing anything like that.
Wouldn't also know the processes or other things that are involved, whether there was investigations and there were probably have to go the board of commissions or even have to go to the court. You know, the whole country now, everybody going to court. Candidates, their own candidate and all of that.
Yes, but there are laws that govern the election commissions. So within that, if it is 14 days that is supposed to give a result, they should give the result. If anybody don't agree with them, then they can appeal. But when it go more than 2-3 months, then people start wondering what is the commission is doing.
Yeah, and I think it's a two-way street here. That this whole thing here. If the fundings are not made available, no adequate trainings, the logistical part is also crucial to this place. You remember, I think during the last election, there are other places that they have to cross river and do these roads are inaccessible and all of that. Do you think the logistic are there? Are we prepared for the real national elections ahead of all, considering, yeah, we had the commissions is still crying, the funding is yet to be made available, even though based on the court decision, and the court made it crystal clear about, and the election commission, I didn't go back there to see how many, but 6% according to her, if you go much deeper into that, they're going to be contesting. And out of the 61 million, 20, or not even half is being approved. That's a problem to right there. Not even half. And even the one that is approved is not even on hand to start to execute the process.
Yeah, this is the problem with the government. And
go ahead. Let me not. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the problem with the government. The commission submitted a budget. You say, well, okay, 61, I can approve of 20 million right here now. Why not push your money up to the people? But you're waiting at your own time that you want Samuel 12, his own time to give the money. Now,
is it fair to dash all on Samuel 12?
He's the Minister of Finance.
But we're also aware of the bureaucracy in government when it comes to disbursement.
Mr. So, what is the bureaucracy? When the Minister of Finance says he can go to the national legislature and tell them, hey, I'm taking 20 million from the road fund, 24 million to do payroll. What was the bureaucracy then? He got that money. It's still a question about how that money was used. So, the election commission.
Well, in other words, there should be the argument of GOL. I listened to one of the guides, and I will try to invite them that monies, GOL monies are movable depending on the situation. Election has to go on. Whatever money or that, they have to find the money. So, in other words, what you are telling me, If they can do that, on the other side with the road front, they should also provide saying to have these elections conducted. Is that what you're arguing?
No, I'm not saying that they should take the road fund money to use. You're talking about bureaucracy, but
Yeah,
I'm just trying to tell you.
yeah, I'm kind of in line with you because
Yeah.
they kind of make improvise or they create some
Yes.
provision to get certain things done. So
Yes.
I try to sense out here your argument now. Okay, why are they sitting there and say they can't have base goings and why? Before she come to this press conference, my guess yet conversation has been going on off camera. And so they also want to put themselves clean now, picture that say, you know what, this whole thing here is not within our hand again. We are ready to go. We are ready to rock and roll, but we need the logistical part and the finances needed to execute this electoral process.
Yes. And here's the thing. What a 2-day, 3-day workshop, the people must be prepared earlier to have this workshop done, training done, and deploy the people. And in order to train the people to deploy them, you require money. You have to transport the ballot. You remember in your home country, some district there was no ballot that went to that client.
I hope, I hope they will continue march in Lofa this time. It was at Lofa the other day, Devil came to town.
Bopolo.
Yeah.
Bopolo, the devil came and I said devil took the ballot box or whatever. Listen, but these are some of the things that we need to focus on. Because when we talk about free and fair election, it's not just people going to the ballot box to cast a vote.
Okay. So, now, let's make it more interactive. We're going to open the line, the other part here. Now, the NEC is not speaking out. This is what they need. They need this money to kick the process off.
Yeah.
There is a committee in both lower and upper house, and we'll try to reach there. Now, the quiet. When it comes to dividing 10,000, 30,000, they don't be quiet. They come and give justification. And these committees have oversight responsibilities to make sure, too, because the NEC is accountable to them. So I'm wondering, from this press conference here today, I'm wondering whether this committee has done her on a part because they also have to push. So that what makes the government work simultaneously, the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, which is a fresh branch of government, more or less give the authority to say, okay, yeah, we need to get this funding in order to get this exercise ongoing. Have they called Minister Tuer to say, hey, we have been having dialogue. We are having that off-camera conversation with NEC. NEC needs the money to get the process off. What's going on? Is anybody doing that?
Well, maybe if they're doing it, maybe they're doing it behind closed door. But here's the thing here. The WLA government, Mr. Tuer, the ministers are very arrogant. Especially including Samuel Tuer, they are very arrogant. The people, when the committee side, then they go there when they want to. Why?
What is responsible for that?
Oh, because you have it's partisan. It's partisanship. Amateur, he don't want to push Samuel Tuer, got it off from the CDC. Buffer Chima don't want to push Amateur, that they are all seditions. If you have a pro tem, a speaker that is forceful, forthcoming and say, hey, look, the Minister of Finance, you're supposed to appear today, you must appear. All want to hold you in contempt. If they set example on 1 or 2 ministers, they will learn a lesson, but the same for the minister, he will send the deputy. Wherever they send the minister in charge, 4 ministers, he will send the deputy. Deputy come dressed like someone going practice. They gotta say, go back because you're not dressed properly. I mean, is that people that you think you take seriously? This is what happening. Today I was listening to the Senate committee dialogues they were asking, they have been following them that they want to see domestic debt, the budget, list of the domestic debt that the people who are those people. And the mayor on our committee said that The road senator was out of the country, and the principal deputy was out of the country. So therefore, nobody could come to speak to them. So they just came back in the country, so they had to invite them. But the question here is, so it means that senator is out of the country. So it means that the government cannot run. It means that the minister of finance cannot operate since senator is out of the country. The deputy, the principal deputy is out of the country. So it means that nobody in charge. So they have to wait for senator and his principal deputy to come back before they can come. Then they will settle to come to speak to the committee on this issue. So look at that kind of system. Are you telling me if the minister is out of the country, the deputy is out of the country, so there's nothing can be done? That is the kind of system we're having today in Liberia. So this morning, the chairman, the election commission chairman is talking about, she called somebody, they will call him, he said, well, look, I will try, but I don't have that money right now. Maybe next week, 2 weeks from now. That's it. That's it. That's it. So now who will be there to call the minister and say, hey, you know what happened? This is an election. We want you to find that money now and give it to them.
Yeah,
because this has been set aside for this election. And it is by constitution that we must have this election. But who will do it? Some to figure that Abacha cannot push him. The speaker cannot push him.
Who would do it? The question, who would do it? And I just don't have answer for that. Does it speak to the point that the divisive politics, how the system has been polarized, the inability for these politicians, especially those Capitol Hill, to have that sort of political dialogue? We see it here in the West Side, sometimes in as much Kuku Hair, Kabe McCarthy, and you have Mitch McConnell's crazy. Other folks are sometimes, and they're in Chuck Schumer, and they cut deal, you know. There will always be a tense situation. Of course, the ruling party will also want to get the edge. You give this, and I take this, and the opposition will also want to get it. But I don't even see conversation. If it is taking place, there's nothing to suggest that these people, both within the opposition, the government, independence, if there's any, whatever the situation, to be having this sort of dialogue. When it comes to this crucial thing, sometimes they got to get off their mind of capital building, being a capital, and put Liberia first and work on some things that are really in the interest of the country. Such election has to go on, so no matter why. If there's no money, GOL, people, the money, they got to find the money any kind of way. Why are these people not having this sort of bipartisan stuff for God's sake? I'm looking forward to Joseph inviting Darius Dillon for a lunch. I'm looking forward to Nyomli Kangat Lawrence doing the same and say, hey, even though you don't agree with me, I don't agree with me, but this one more or less is for the Republic of Liberia. We have to have an election to this committee to go and have this conversation and prevail on the executive to push the line as well. But when everybody cussing the hell out of each other, when there is no dialogue, conversations is ignored completely, then this is the system that you're going to have. Why are these people not having this sort of conversation? If they are having it, is it visible? Are we saying it? Is there any evidence to suggest that they are having this sort of conversation off camera?
No, but I would look at it from the different angle, from the different perspective. This is not a bill that somebody are trying to pass. So you can say, well, the other side can say, no, this is our interest is not being protected. We can do, we'll undermine it. We'll try to torpedo this thing here. No, this one is about an election that is guaranteed by the Constitution. Why should it be bipartisan? To talk to the other person that they can prevail on the minister to do it? No, there should be a clear thing.
But it's everywhere. Let's be honest here. It's everywhere. It's not necessarily.
No, Mr. So it's everywhere. But
the election has to go on. Yeah, I know the election. But what I'm saying, this also speaks to the fact, if we look at the track record, the behavior of these people, it just carry on and on. And I understand where you're coming from. And that makes 100% perfect sense. That's how it's supposed to be. That's not something people are supposed to beg for. is a constitutional matter.
Issue.
It's a constitutional issue that within a specified time. Now, in fact, there should be a time allotted for this election to go ahead, but because of this whole court and this and that, now the election commission said they are not putting no putting timeline now because in the
The
absence of
legislature, they have to go back to the legislature.
they got so that's why NEC is not putting a timeline on it now, which itself is a delay. We don't know how long that's going to take again.
Well, maybe if I were the legislature, I think we'll call the Minister of Finance, hearing this from this press conference, and call the Minister of Finance.
That's my argument now.
Call the Minister of Finance.
We're going to see what happens.
Call the Minister of Finance and say, look, the court has ruled, and we now have the authority to set the date aside for the by-election. So,
Milton Tiaje is the guy in the Senate, right, for election? Yeah,
I don't know.
He used to be there, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Milton Tiaje or maybe Vanish.
You have a website that you got to call people all over the place to get their contact.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that the president pro tem can call the Minister of Finance and say, look, the Supreme Court has cleared the way for this election, and there's $20 million approved in the budget to be allocated to the election plan to hold this election. Can you get up when the money going to be available to the election commission? Whether 6 weeks, 1 month, so we can then work in that framework to set a day, because we don't want to set a day. Then you say there's no money. I mean, they don't have to be in the public. You can call the Minister of Finance and say, hey, so we want to do, but we want everything to be in line to have the election be conducted. So maybe they will work something like that out. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if someone's trying to pass, if some senator or representative want to pass a bill, yeah, that one you can see maybe partisan bickering here and there. People want this one, they want that one. Okay. But like election, because this has the propensity to bring trouble in the country. So nobody should say, hey, you know what I mean? I'm from the ruling party. I don't care. I will not force the Minister of Finance to make that money available.
Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
From the West African nation of Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia Public Radio and Television present Business Diary. This program focuses on the activities of business institutions and individuals in society.
I'm Jeremiah Zawu Senior, CEO of All Nation Bank. It has been very good to have this business established here. We are 1 year since we opened here in Anono. There have been few challenges here that have faced in this country, and that is all about the language. But here instead, I refuse to be deterred. I refuse to be discouraged. I open a business and things have been fine.
My name is Mercy Bangarilanga. I am a finance officer working for an international organization. I have a master's degree in business administration. So today I'd like to take the opportunity to talk to you about the COVID pandemic and how it has affected the business sector in terms of me working in an organization, an international organization.
Don't miss out. Be my guest. It's coming soon on Liberia Public Radio and Television.
Everyone that's looking for nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She had really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fiber you're looking for and match it for the men. And you know, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and Ashobi hair ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fabric Queen on Woolen, $66.95 off of Woolen. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodlands Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrics Queens in Philadelphia is easy insult of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba. All right, that's it right there. George, are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right, we want to, that's a commercial. If you have a business inside Liberia, right here in the USA on planet Earth, just let us know. Now, this is our African brother. I don't want to sound ridiculous of me here, but she's a Ghanaian and she get a business in Philadelphia. Imagine I was sleeping in this lady call. How will follow your program? This is what I want to do to give patronage, to give sponsorship. At which we here in the diaspora, we have an outlet here like you guys from Liberia. But I'm a regular follower of LPR. I don't hear people cussing man. I don't hear people saying your talking point is always get a pepper, sauce, season, and all of the stuff inside. And she reached out, says she wants to advertise a business. So there are so many ways people can give contributions to donate. We want to tell the Fabric Queen. Some of you get BB businesses around here. That's another way. You don't give our money free. You know, we want to work for it before you give it to us. You know, so this is LPR. It's a public network. We don't want to go in the hands of politicians, go in the pocket of politicians. And this is how corruption, when the going gets tough and the tough gets going on, you can't go through the wall, you look behind, you look in front, nobody there, and you swallow spray, come and do something. That's not what we want to do. So we count on you for your maximum support. Interestingly, while I was in the process to pivot to a talking point, I just got a text message here for someone who has worked in government and familiar with what is going on in Liberia and other parts, and I will close link with the State Department when it comes to information sharing. It's a rhetorical question they are asking. If the country is incapable for raising money for by-elections, then what will be the status of the general elections come 2023? Valid question. The by-election was budgeted. Is that money syndrome the same like the road fund that was lended in paying salary, or is it the issue of integrity that is haunting the Elections Commission, for which the donors are keeping away from funding of the election process? Now, you see, people listen. Some people, they do their quiet thing. They don't come. While we're on this commercial, this is a high-profile person. It's alarming. And people raising people that would know, raising such a questions or concern, who knows? They are talking to people who are familiar with this. And there are a lot of conversations going on, or people are talking off camera that you don't know, I don't know. But we will have access because we somehow work with it. And that's another way of sharing information. And I started off. This question here, or this concern, also it validate my question. You remember when we were starting, what are these election commissions? And you, as a bullet point guy, who said no.
Yeah.
So people don't forget. People don't forget. Only other people try to, but people don't forget. Now, electoral process worldwide has been funded by donors. All right, they always help national government. But when we see the dark shadow hangs over this election with commission with so many things, including the chairperson, we don't even know what the end of it. This sort of inconclusive investigation that is always being conducted in the country, and at the end of the day, either go to the court and the court keep it for the longest and wait for the turn and this turn, the turn. Guess what? There are consequences for it. So people who are funding these programs, such as the election, you don't do it, they're not going to talk. They're not going to put you on firing squad. They're not going to put you behind the bar. They're not going to, no RRU person going to arrest you. But what they're going to do, they're going to hold your kappa, the money. They're going to hold it. And when they hold the money, when money is lacking in everything now, then stagnation can. When stagnation can, this is where the hala thing can. Because that's the money that you need. This question, this concern being raised, but this individual that we know very well, familiar thing, know about these things here. That's a serious concern. If we can't have it, we can't have this thing now. Then what's about the national election? If we can't find 60 million and we can't even get half of that, and there's no money, so then what becomes the feature of the presidential and another two more major elections, both lower and upper house, before we change our gear? Are these valid questions, valid concern, Mr. George?
They are valid concern, valid questions, but all what he said about all of the above is true. Because government is supposed to come with a certain amount of money. Donors add on to that. Now, if the host or the government is not coming with that fund, the donor will not put the money in there because there's nothing that it's the same thing with the road funds. The government is supposed to put in something that the donor will match what they put in. But if you take that money from there, the donor not going to put anything there because you got nothing there to match what it's supposed to do.
You're like going on susu ground, you not get money in the susu, you want to go, the people eating their susu, you want to go there to get money.
So it's come back again, the election commission, normally it depends on the institution to come in and help. But it's also required transparency with the institution. The chairman was, I don't know what I say in quote.
I don't want to sound ridiculous here before we pivot to the next thing here. What I'm hearing here seems to me giving me a different feeling. Do you think the executive branch of government to have acted at the time with all of these clouds and apprehensions of this election commission, which they themselves justify? We know what Brown did. Do you think she should have been relieved from that post? That would have stabilized the whole thing and gave a different sense of direction, of thinking, of the credibility of the election commission with outside the comfort zone of GOL, that is the donors and our international community, to have the electoral process well funded?
Yeah, but Mr. Toh, I think...
Don't call me Toh.
I'm Mr. So sorry. Mr. So we are for this, Professor Zawula and myself. The day she was confirmed, we said that she was not competent to run that institution. We didn't say that she's not educated. We never said that. We said, but to run that institution, she was not the right person. And it came to fruition because when she ran the first election she had, there were a whole lot of hulu there. By election, the same problem. Then they came up with this contract to her relative or whoever. Then again, she herself made a stunning revelation about Sam Senior, who were putting something in the budget, $24 million or whatever, in the budget without their concern. So, why would these people be in this area that is very consequential to the survival of the country when it comes to election? Why the president And again, it's a tenured position. These are some of the trouble. So, but the president should have even think before making this nomination. Now here is now we are. Cash track. Donor will not come in with money to match what they have. Then the question becomes, what happened to the general election 2023? Will the government be able to come up with the money that needed to run that election to be free and fair, to stop the headache? Because it's not just you get the money that they go and print ballot. No.
Okay.
They have to train people. They have to deploy people.
Let's go to the next talking point. We intend to also have our viewers, our listeners, for following. We also intend to have them engage. We're going to be putting the number out here. Let's pivot here. Something happens on the famous, I believe, on the famous sycamore tree. You know where to get a sycamore tree, right?
Yeah.
Where is it located in Moravia?
Oro Junction.
After a while, he surfaced. I was in Liberia recently. I decided I went there. I took a tour. I want us to have a conversation, and then he said, "Okay, well, it's not time here. The ground is so dead." But he took the stage today. Let's see it. The ruling establishment, the Congress for Democratic Change, is in the process of celebrating, I believe, our 7th anniversary of the existence of the party. The chair, who is one of the powerful leaders of the party, was speaking to partisans today in what I could term or coin as a special call to energize their base ahead of base in all maybe 2023. Courtesy of our sister network televisions, let's listen to some of the soundbite and the talking point from Chairman Moloba Molu, who addresses the press in the wake of the party's 17th anniversary. Not 17. Let me take it back. Let's listen to some of this.
From our defeat in 2021 has taught us to rise above failure, has taught us new ways to win. And that new way will always be democratic, transparent, free and fair. But we are going to next election to win because we got everything required to win.
Come on.
I will tell you this. We were defeated principally because seditions were not united. The only political power that has the power to defeat CDC in this election is the CDC. That's what I'm grateful for, the unity among seditions, the unity in the correlation with democratic change. Seditions have learned that in every political process, nothing is perfect. Wrongs can take place. People can be offended. But those offenses will not give you justification to walk away from the sweat and blood invested to make your pathway in this today. Contributions are risen above the challenges of the past. Institutions are united. For those that are lukewarm, it's time for you to reactivate. Because the time for you to stand up for your party has come. CDC is the property of the ordinary people. We are simply managers of their property. You in Douala, in Clay Ashland, Pinsville, Raleigh, West Point, Nicholtown, you there in Boston, Judah, you in Habel, in Kakata, in Banga, Nimba, Grand Jesus Westru, Rebachi, Plibo, Maryland County, Beginner John Bassa, Sister City, Grand Crew. You are the owners of this party. His Excellency George Weah is a servant to you. We are servants to you. He's our leader. We love you. We support him. But you are the true leaders of the party. You are the custodians of this party. You are the owner of this Negro CDC. You made CDC great and you choose to stay together around CDC, nobody can defeat CDC. No one can defeat your party if you're united with the party.
Okay. Mr. Joyce.
Yeah.
Okay, that Chairman Molbat Malou speaking on the famous Sakamo tree. That's the wife home of the Congress for Democratic Change, the ruling establishment in Liberia. I listened to that. He's speaking in a very executory tone. He's speaking in a specific tones, a specific language being deployed, words being used, giving justification why there was a big loss by CDC at the time, because there was no unity. People were offended, to start being lukewarm and all of that. Stand up for the party. He's trying to evoke it, to get the sense, hey, look, no matter what happened, when people are talking now, this party is a grassroots party. It is the ordinary Liberian. You've been rejected. There's no political accommodation for you and all of that. It's your party. But he didn't say that he was one of those that were offended when he said some of those ridiculous things about the president. But it's like, I got to stand out to speak for the people. What is he doing right now? The justifications of he provided, for which there was a big loss on their part, does that hold a deeper water?
Mr. So he trying to rally the base, but that is a complete nonsense. What has changed? You know, the question I love to ask people is a right to affiliate with a political institution, the ruling party. But I ask people this question. Look around you as an individual. What has changed in your life since you voted for your party? What has changed? Do you have something to do in the morning that your daughter will be able to get a breakfast, lunch when she comes from school? Has that something changed? No. Many guys languishing around. How many times Molba Molu has gone out there now to talk to the partisan in a district? Say, hey, Chairman, we are here, we're concerned. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing to provide job for you people in this area. Has he done that? He hasn't done that. And to come and say, this party is for you people. Bokonti. You know, Bokonti is a farm village. And that name has begun. Bokonti is in Grand Crew or somewhere.
You been Grand Crew before?
I think it's Grand Crew or something. I think it's Grand Crew. Bokonti, something like that. But I don't know. That village, I want to see that village of town because it has become very famous. Many of us use it as a reference point. So I don't know who went there, what they saw there. That Bokonchi is always one of the remote part of Liberia they always make reference to. But if you make a reference to Bokonchi, what have you done in Bokonchi to change the life of those people? Your partisan you're talking about, what have you done there? In Grand Gilead, what have you done there to change the life of the partisans there in terms of job creation, in terms of healthcare, in terms of education, in terms of safe drinking water? What have you done there? That you're telling these people, we are concerned about you. We are concerned about your well-being. But when they get up in the morning, the children going to school hungry, no meal. They don't know when they come back where the mother or father going to find that meal from. What is the opportunity? The hope that you're giving these people. to tell them we are concerned about you. You know, so when I get kind of rhetoric, I just tell myself complete, playing on the people, the young people of Liberia, playing on the intelligence. This is what more than the good are doing. CDC is the property of the people. Yes, but you have no control over something that you own. How that can be my property when I don't have control? Where is the skin that I got in this thing? Let me go Bon County. What the children of Bon County can tell me that, you know what, 4 years, this is what CDC had done for us. It had changed my life. It had changed my mother's life. It had changed my father's life.
You have a vice president who was part of the ruling establishment from Bon County.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm coming there. What these people have done, that today, that someone from those counties, especially Bon County, let me go back home. That someone can tell me, because of CDC, today my pa is working. I do not have to worry about breakfast or lunch. When I come from school, I will find food to eat. Where is that job? The vice president is from there. Talking about unity. The vice president has said before, ministers from the government have insulted her. The president never said a word. But you see, there is unity. And so the unity to me is relative to maybe the guys in the class, they are united, but not everybody out there. So when this man is talking this kind of thing, I just look at it as a trash. And those who are there hailing him, and this is about, you ask some of them, what are you doing now? Some of them get up and go and sit down on that sycamore tree all day, waiting for somebody to come there to say, hey, bro, take $5 or $2 to pay your way. Is that the grassroots party that you suffer for 17 years? And today someone is telling you, oh, don't mind the people. We know the problem. Why
make a recommendation as we critique here. Make recommendation. Be a friendly, be a nice guy to seditions and some of those people young people who sit under this. Is there a confidence that was signed under that sycamore tree or what? You think?
Well, Mr. So I don't know what confidence. What will you sign? You sign something that will not benefit you? You sign something that you don't see change in your life? One thing you want is for you to go and run behind people every day. To sit down
Let me add to your point here, because we're talking about Moluba Molu now, and there are a lot of things also popping through my hair here, bringing some flashback here. So he said unity, but I'm not sure whether he has adequately addressed some of these things that he said. Does he still stand by the allegations against the president, that the president is corrupt, the president was giving people jobs because he wants to have an affair with them? He was the chairman of the party, and there was some big loss by the party. Does he still have control? Is there unity? Can this guy still lead this party in such a consequential elections? Has Moluba Molu answered these volatile and critical questions? Seditions, have they asked that question, or he just untouchable?
Moluba doesn't have to answer. What he said was true for me. So what he want to answer? What he said was true.
Can a sedition asking those questions? What are his today?
If there were like-minded people who are concerned about the country, I won't say the party, but the country.
He was in my own town. I mean, Uns County. He went there to campaign with our powerful senator, the Honorable Zoe Emmanuel Pennant, and the honored daughter, Madison Goyon. I put out a big upset in Granger County, which is, I would say, a stronghold of CDC from all indications looking at past history. How effective this chairman can still be to lead CDC in this coming election?
Let me say, for me, if I remember CDC, I would be advocating for Moluba to go long time.
You starting trouble with LPR.
Eh?
You starting trouble.
No, that's the truth. since the election went up to Zedu for the Zobena campaign, when I saw Mola Molo going to Kidmont, when I saw him going to Bombay, when I saw him going to Bobolo, when I saw him going to Bomb Country, when I saw him going to Lofa, when I saw him going to Sando, when I saw him going to Maryland.
That's one of the things that misses me here. All of the party chairmen, they're supposed to get up, they need to be outside of Monrovia and be reporting. And part of that is the leader. Elections, literally, 2023 is just next door. These party chairmen, they need to be in the trenches to get their party's agenda. They're not supposed to be in Monrovia, be riding fancy car and things like that. We're supposed to be seeing their images walking in those mud roads and stuff like that and doing everything possibly to get the image of the party. But that is not happening. They are all clustered up in Monrovia there and want to go to one quarter, speak and all the big words and have a next time. So how are they saying Monrovia is the Republic of Liberia because the higher votes come from Monrovia, so the thing is just okay?
Yeah, let me say this, and I will give Mr. Cummings some credit because he had told the countries and state. But
is it because you share his political idea?
Eh?
Is it because you want to give him credit? You don't have. Do you have any credit for the CDC, George Weah, the president?
No, the president. Listen, the president toured the country in a capacity as president of Liberia, which normally every person would do to visit the country as a whole. He did that. But how long did it take him to do? So he did it. But as party, the chairman of the party, I don't expect the president to be trying on every month or so. It's the work of the chairman of the party to do that. Okay, yeah, there's some rally. You can bring the president in to do as a heavy gun, yeah. But Molo has not done nothing since the election. Yeah. Going to Grand at that time was just a show up. Show up. When you saw Molo in any of these counties or districts to rally the CDC? No. The guy is he ran a fracture car in Monrovia and he telling someone, oh, I'm like you. And some idiot sitting down there said, oh yeah, he really loves us. No. That's just the plain truth. We have to see it.
Can we put all of these parties in the basket of deplorable, their chairmen and people that the same? It seems that Monrovia is Liberia. Because let's just say Monrovia is Liberia, and Liberia can survive without Bon County, without Lofa County, without Grand Jide, without Sino. Once you are okay in Monrovia, life is pleasant with you.
It is dead wrong, absolutely wrong. Because one, if you take Nima, look at Nima, the concession up there. You take Bon County. These are two major counties that bring in a whole lot of revenue to the central government.
Let's go to another thing here, and I'm going to be putting the phone number on here. We have given enough dinner or supper, whatever, it depends on their location. So that we'll see here. And this one here is the eye-catching one for me. It speaks to the volumes, the conversations I have with Gibson Giroux, and the kind of stigma being placed on these young generations, not just only by us, by ordinary Liberians, politicians, they themselves, they apply stigma to these people, and no one seems to find the solution. There are three major things we'll talk about here, and right after that, we're going to put. I watch these images coming from Liberia, and it pains my heart. Let's watch and see, and we're going to have a conversation. Emma Josh,
Yeah.
that's Kakata that I believe was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You saw those young people, politician has been successful. I'm guilty of it, you, everybody. We give them a code name. We define them. We put them in a cave. We outcast them, and they found the name Zogo. And it's one of the names that when you kind of like define, you tell somebody it's a Zogo, it seems to be rejected, denounced, you priceless, no value. Your life is not meaningful, and there's no way that you can have a meaningful life. Those are my own definitions based on people that I talk to, and what happens when people call them Zogo and things that they do, even though they do ridiculous things, but their actions, what they are doing, or what got them in this sort of position, is the creations of politicians, because in the past and still in the future they were seeking for state power. And I'm not hearing enough from our politicians, state actors and major actors, because I don't know whether the National Rehabilitation Center is still alive. David Cicilline in Jagri in my own state here, I don't know of him having any rehabilitation center because it's costly. You need to have a clinician, you need to have a psychologist, you need to have a counselor, and it's a long route of planned treatment to rehabilitate these people and bring them to society. Nothing much is happening. It doesn't matter whether George Weah is there today, Kumi come in tomorrow, Boyka, age come in the next day, or whoever comes in the next day. If there's no long-term goal to address this issue, believe me. So then some of them dress the jihadis and in that sort of war-like tones of what we saw in the 90s and all of that. And people just think that it's okay, and we just call them this name. We are not doing anything. We are not doing enough. We are not getting to the international community that, hey, because as long as these people are there, there will be a liability on national government. They are your citizen. You can't say, well, because they did this, and that's auto A. Because if you even get there today, they're going to be pain in your neck. That I can tell you for sure. When you see that happening, and you see our politicians today, be it the government, the opposition, they are completely disoriented, distracted from the issues and challenges facing the country. Their talking point is not ceasing. Their message is not refined. They're not giving me hope. I don't know about you. I don't know about them. They are not addressing, I'm not seeing tangible coming as to how this thing can be put to a rest. Yet then these people say they want to hold state power. They want to occupy the higher office of the land to be on the A floor. The mansion is being renovated. I too want to be on that A floor. But are we on track?
No. We are not on track. Now, let me say this. Most of the children you saw were there. That age, the ages, I think, range up to 20 or so. So it means that 2000 or 2001, 2002, any of them were born at that, they were maybe 3-4 years old. So it means that most of them, those young children you see there, they did not participate in the war. If you're 20-year-old today, I'm not sure, then you did not fight the war. You were born at the end of the war. That means you did not participate in the war. But there are factors that have put them in that category. So, and I do not want to blame present government alone, because we did not lay down a good foundation to address a wide range of issues as it relates to those young people. So this is what now we're having. It's also education. It is a serious problem, and it is an impediment to our people. To have people mind change, give them a sense of direction, a hope. Education is the key factor. Many times I listen to some of the children interview. Someone said, hey, I'll go to school. I didn't listen to my pa or my mom. Someone said, a friend told me to do this, and that changed my whole life. Drugs. So there are a whole range of issues involved with these young people. And there's nobody coming up with a short-term and long-term plan for these people. I listened to the Minister of Youth and Sport. They cost them, I don't know how many thousands, numerous people, youth, that they try to rehabilitate or help. But that number, compared to the people in the street, where is that number coming from? Then why we still have these number of children of the people in the street like this? Then something is not right. Because if you talk about 3,000-4,000 people, young people, to assist, these guys in the street should be your priority number one. To try to see how you can assist them to get out of that life. And then the issue, if you even do assist them, what do you have to give them that they will not go back to that street life? That's the hope. What do you have to offer? You can take the man, go and do every rehabilitation, everything. But if you don't have anything to give him, the same group that he was in, or somebody from someone he said, pull back into that same action. So it's a whole range of issues. It's not just one thing. They have to approach it from all angles, holistic approach. It's not just taking the guy to say, oh, okay, we'll go and try to rehabilitate him, then we'll put him in the street. No, he have to be given something that he will be able to depend on, do for a living. There's a minute in the interview, someone they say, hey, we don't want to be in their life, but we cannot help ourselves. We need somebody to come. We need government to help us. So, but again, priorities. Where is our priority? And this has a national security implication. Nobody should sit down and say, hey, I'm minister, I don't care. Because crime has no boundary, no limitation. You can bury a horse, fence 6 feet. The day the criminal ready, you'll be shocked. So that's why I always say.
They will pull Lalo on it.
Yeah. That's why I always say crime is like a nuclear weapon. It has no boundary. You can be living Peace Avenue, when they're ready, they will come and rob you. You can be living Westman, when they're ready, they will rob you. So,
all right, so folks, the number is updated. We have talked on 3 major issues here, but the program is all things considered. Maybe all of the things that we talk about doesn't make sense to you, which is okay, and there are other side or other things that you're looking at. That's the traditions of this network. We always like to get you involved, because Liberia is for all of us. I don't have dominion sitting down here to anger this program. Doesn't mean that I own Liberia. Absolutely not. Too far from it. You are the rightful owner. Let's have this conversation. The phone line is open. It's also available via WhatsApp. For those of you in Liberia, we are working on something to also have a Liberia number here that you can also call. In fact, there are going to be some changes into our program, daytime, evening time, to accommodate and views and opinion as we are in news content sharing with Sky Communications and also to our sister on the print media here, African Start, where editorial and all of that are going to be coming, can be playing here as well. So the number is open there, 682-433-8802 is available via WhatsApp, just in case you are in Liberia or any other part of the world. Let's hear from you what you think about your country, the directions of your country, and what is of concern to you as a Liberian. Go ahead, Pa George.
And then the issue of the police. They're not helping the situation. They are not helping.
What are they doing wrong?
That story, I had not been able to verify or authenticate that the ball went to ice and the police got shot in the head. And what our police, is that what they are trained to do? What do we do to de-escalate a situation? That's Africa, it's not America. So what do we do? And when this thing happens, there will be no investigation done to the letter to hold somebody accountable, except when the group began or threatened violence. I remember when the people were demonstrating at number 7, when a boy or a child was killed, Rachel listed killed, part was taken. The police shot a ball there. Even the U.S. Embassy commented on that issue. They said they were investigating up to now. Nobody knows the outcome of that case. And it brings us to the point that the judge, we are government, does not take security of the people into account, because these kind of violent action, and they said the police station was looted, that speaks a volume of a country where every little thing people run and burn down police station. What is the central government doing to assure?
Is that sort of reprisal there? Is it arguable? Is that how they express or put their anger, vent their anger, that maybe the government is not there for them? Or because we look back then during the war, that was people's way of responding or getting things done. How can we undo that?
Mr. So they are fighters. Trust. You and I know with the government, one lie heard people burning down police station in Liberia. Even thing was somehow was not right, but people never went down to ransack police station, to burn police station, because give and take, they have some confidence. That means they have some confidence that, hey, police will come, will handle this issue. But you are seeing on many occasions, the citizens are in fierce confrontation with the police. They don't trust the police. So even if an officer is trying to do the right thing, they will say, no, we don't trust these people, because of the past history. And now once the public don't trust the police, it becomes difficult for the police to do their work. Even if they're trying to do the right thing, people will still say, we don't trust them. These are the problems that we're having in Liberia. How do you go back to restore the confidence of the police to the people? That's a very serious question in Liberia today. The young man was shot. I do not know the circumstances. But if the people have confidence in the police, they will say, okay, you know what happened? We'll hold. We know the police will investigate the matter and will hold the person accountable. But no, many times, the investigations are inconclusive. Let me give another example. That I believe the government respond to violence. That's the only time apparently it's the language they understand. You saw what happened, I think, Jakarta Chicken Party when a Madrigal ball was killed by that police.
Yeah.
When they threatened violence, the Minister of Justice came immediately to take the case and say, hey, we're going to handle this matter. So then it leaves me that probably the language that George Weah government understands is violent. And maybe this is what the young people believe, that, hey, if you don't do this, the government will not look at you.
Okay,
It may sound a little bit awkward, but exactly this is what they are doing. We saw in Maryland, they burned down a police station, they burned down police car, Grand Gilead, Morovia, or Riverside, Kakatan, and McGibby. All in era, people burned down police station.
So okay, let's
to hold those who are burning down police station and also to hold those who violate the people's rights.
Okay, let's digress here a little bit in this conversation here. There are other apparatus or other agencies of government also responsible for the rehabilitations of these people here. First one is the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health does have a significant role to play. And two, where are the international organizations, the NGOs, whether it's local, it's international? One of the focus points of United Nations and other world big country, when after the war, rehabilitation is key. Is key. They don't ignore that. It is heavy cash is being invested into the rehabilitation process because they are very cognizant of the fact if the rehabilitation process is not fully executed, and if it is not comprehensive, believe me or not, they're going to bring back, they're going to come back, they're going to return, they're going to bring resources. So their immediate action can be is to invest into the rehabilitation. Where are those NGOs that money, tons of money were given to them? Should we call Helen Johnson Sirleaf to tell us, the Harvard graduate, 12 years with Joseph Boyka, to tell us the status of the rehabilitation process? Can the government tell us or call Helen Johnson Sirleaf, tell us precisely where she left the rehabilitation process? If you travel, I was there recently. If you leave Morovia, you think these people they call, I see them as war victim. I don't know why people call it, people that are calling these names to these people, they must be prosecuted. Because that's another type of stereotyping. They should be prosecuted in my own way. I wish that the president would have made that sort of proclamation. And I know people are going to be freaking out and say this and that. We can't call people here war veterans and this and that. People from all of these things. It's no different. Why these people, who brought this name Zogo? Are we, the media as well, creating enough to change this narrative that is being driven by these self-centered, greedy politicians, so-called advocates? Where are the human rights community in Liberia? I advocate for people, and open their loud mouth, but they are unable to post something or to present something or say, no, these people, they are war victims. We shouldn't be calling them this name. What the hell you sit down to you file your nails with all your false eyelashes and eyebrow fingernails, all like this, artificial fingernails, and you have the guys in the tuxedo coat, and I get the I call this phone Tango or whatever, iPhone protecting, and you're walking, you're smelling nice, and you see those guys in the street. Some of them have not eaten all day, and then you hold your phone like this, and the ear pop. Guess what? You provoke them. I'm not just telling you that what they are doing is right, but you telling them, you know what? The beauty, I'm experiencing the beauty of life. Life is sweet. It's all well with me. And you see the guy lives there, is dry. He has not even had a cup, taste of water today. What are you going to do? He's going to slap the hair out of you and take that phone and go sell it for $30 or $20 because why? His belly is empty. So crime is being, people invite crime in different forms or shapes and all of that. So they see us, some of them we can bond, then some of them, they can bond us. But guess what? In order to satisfy the human and get that kind of connection, they call you our power, our mind, to appease to you, to inject that sort of human feelings in you. Say, you know what? Even though this is who I am, I'm washing your car, I'm this and that, but I'm somebody's son, I'm a child, I'm a human being. I need to have a beauty of life. So they call us our power, our mind, and I will give them $5 and this and that. And some of those same old people in authority, they come back and call these people Zogo. Kind of stigmatize them. Helen Johnson Sirleaf. Can somebody tell Helen Johnson Sirleaf the Unity Party, of which Joseph Boyka is a part and parcel for the 12 years rule, to tell us the status, because good money, significant money was heavily invested in the rehabilitation process of Liberia. Where is the status? Where did Helen Johnson Sirleaf? Is there any buildings? Is there any interlock? Whether it's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or maybe it's Maria Central Precinct or City Corporation, or maybe we can ask Helen Johnson body that is in the government as well, Mary Broad, or anybody can tell us the status of the rehabilitations of the Unity Party. Unity Party.
No.
Or all of them were packed. Helen Johnson put everybody in the garage.
Let me say this. The problem today in Liberia, Helen Johnson Sirleaf cannot walk away from it. She still part of the problem.
Will she be held accountable?
Of course.
Who's going to do that? Who's going to take that lead?
Well, it left with the leader. These are the debates we'll be having. Asking people, those who want to be president, what are they going to hold past leader accountable for what happened in Liberia? Those who are living today, other government officials, not just.
Can they honestly answer that question and put us on record for that?
Well, I mean, that's what we are here for. If we don't answer, then we know what you stand. I mean, we're not forcing you to answer the question, but that will give the public a sense of what you will be doing if you become a leader. So,
meaning the cat is about to eat his own baby. We in the media industry, we need to double up to say, hey, this is why civil conversation is good, because when you start talking crazy stuff and cussing, it killed the substance of the conversation. We can mind these people who loves drama, and we having dramatic. We did the drama is already unfolded. We don't need to add any other drama on that. It's too much ongoing.
Yes. And so what I'm saying is that we need to ask this leader, what will you do if will you set a committee to investigate these people, and if someone is liable, will you hold them accountable? And there will be not answerable to us as a media people, but to the Liberian people, because all of them, the Liberian people, all can.
And guess what? Guess who we're going to be having here?
Who?
A long-time human rights advocate, Councillor Tuawant Gonglo. He saw the guy sweeping the other day, right? He was sweeping Capitol building. My understanding, he came with a bone here, and he said he's going to put people in jail. So he's going to be the first guy that we're going to experiment this question. Hey, what will happen to will you ask Helen Johnson Sirleaf the status of the rehabilitation process? How much was invested, and how many persons were the direct beneficiary, and who are those people? Where are they? Do you intend, if elected as president of the Republic of Liberia, do you intend to do a follow-up, or they're going to have executive clemency?
Well, it's a good question, because there are numbers. The UN still has some numbers. They have the numbers that those who are rehabilitated, but the question here is, Mr. Sewell, why are we talking about that? What are we doing now to try to alleviate some of these problems? And let me say this. 20-year-old today was not the right result of the war. People who are 40 something, those are people who took part, who were born in the heat of the war. But many children today, the youth, you see, some of them left their parents for obvious reasons. Just got into the street. And listen, when they interviewed, they left friends influencing, they got into the street. However, we cannot deny them or deprive them of the basic services needed for anybody to survive. And equally so, Mr. Sewell, the influx of drugs in Liberia is one of the major issues that are affecting our young people today in Liberia. Drugs. We never had the kind of drugs in Liberia before when we were growing up. The Liberian market has been saturated with drugs from Nigeria and other parts of the world.
We have a drugs enforcement agency.
That is the thing I'm telling you. So this thing is not just a one-side thing. If we try to rehabilitate these children, we also have to try to stop the people that are bringing the drugs into Liberia. Liberia does not have the market. We don't produce the kind of drugs in Liberia. But today you see the children telling you that if I get fired, the first thing I run is to go buy drugs. That today how prevalent the use of drugs in Liberia today is. And it's a serious problem that if we are to get our hand around this in terms of what this disadvantaged youth, that's one of the areas we have to tackle. The drugs in the country.
But these are serious things, unfortunately, not to interrupt you. These are the serious things that the country is faced with and that we are experiencing on a daily basis. And we have these politicians being embedded and supported by their people. We are not having this sort of conversation. We are not having the opportunity to engage these people every freaking day, night, morning, hour. Somebody creates some sort of drama and we are all drowned into it killed us. It just threw us off the road of things that we're supposed to be having. We too are responsible, don't you think?
Yes, we are responsible, but you cannot go and grab somebody and force them to talk. If you invite somebody who wants to be a leader in the community or want to be in government, they should be willing to come and discuss the issue because that will give them an insight of this person's leadership, where they want to take the country and how they want to take the country. Now, let me say this. They have very good Nigerians in Liberia, good Ghanaians, good foreigners in Liberia. But there are some who are just there to destroy the fabric of a society. And I can tell anybody that one for free. Because you know who all been to Liberia recently. There are communities I went into. People tell me, said, don't not pass it after 7 o'clock. They say, this community, don't try it again. We strongly advise you, don't do it. If you do it, somebody will hate you. Somebody will starve you. Somebody will do something to you. 7 o'clock in Monrovia, people tell me, do not pass in this community. And this is community that I grew up in Fiamma. And the guy said, he said, I'm not joking. Don't try it, Amos. Why? He said, there are 3-4 ghettos right behind here. And I was saying, the other day I was just thinking, because somebody said I've been thinking increasingly. I said, you know what happened? Why the people cannot introduce a drugs enforcement law that if on your premises, if you anybody caught there selling drugs, they should not just arrest that person, but they should also arrest you. You that got that property because you are a facilitator. Then the government cannot sound harsh laws because these drugs are sold in homes, Mr. So. People living in homes selling these drugs to the children. So government should come out with some laws that look, if you got anybody renting from you and they're selling drugs, and we have to come and arrest him, we will arrest you also and charge you because it's your premises that person is using to destroy the society. I mean, we have to do something to tackle the drug issue in Liberia. It's no joke. It's no joke. And I always say that, yeah, government in the past did not do it, but it doesn't mean that since the government going on the part did not do it, it means that we cannot do it. No. Then, of course, there's no need of asking the people to give them power.
Do you see reason with me now the arguments of us, all of us here, LPRs and other good-willed, meaningful Liberians, that we need to take this conversation out of the hands of the politicians and that we need to drive this here? I mean, I'm sick and tired of people, the other person come, they're supporting this other past party, we left 5 million, we do that. The international community did not give you that money to bank A and say, okay, this other government are coming, you're trying to. That's not a kind of ceremony I'm off for. No, these funds were provided to execute, to have a specific task completed. And then you come today, you start telling me we left this one day. So what the hell did you do when you were there and when you were in charge? What did you do? You leave it there for who to do what to complete? It means you did not do your job. You did not do your job. You needed supervision, and maybe somebody did not supervise you. Then you want to come back. You want to give a 360-degree turn to say, oh, okay, it give me a second return. Like, that's not African Cup of Nations we're playing. That's not I and Barrow who owns the land. That's not hardware tournament. Those tournaments used to be here those days in the 80s. That's not what we are talking about. We are talking about a sovereign nation.
Let me be very ridiculous again, and people will not like it. But the Minister of Youth and Sports, I think somebody heard him that NGOs, some were giving money, helping to rehabilitate some of these disadvantaged youth. But I want the Minister of Youth to tell me if these what are the categories?
The General is visiting with us here this evening. The General that is based in Canada, Francis Doe. Mr. Doe, good evening and welcome, brother.
Yeah. What I want the Minister of Youth and Sport to tell me is what is happening to these children on the street. Are they part of that program? And if so, how many of them they have been able to assist and put in the place that their life will be changed today? The Minister of Sport has to come, Youth and Sport has to come out and tell us something. They will always say, oh, we're doing 1,000 people, 1,000. But if you're assisting all the disadvantaged group, how can we say have these large numbers of people, children in the street in Kakatan, Bonkande, Nima, all the area? Why we're still having these people? What are the programs that are set up in those countries to help to rehabilitate those children in that area? Or it just selective something people are doing in Monrovia? And the Ministry of Health is supposed to be there to serve on the health side. What is the Ministry of Health doing to try to help with this process? Nobody can talk to us about this thing here. Here's my ridiculous I want to say. You continue to speak about the Unity Party. Mr. So, many of us are not far-sighted, are not development-oriented. We don't have what it takes to think on other people to help to improve their lives. And what do I mean by this? Look at the group of 77. Do you know what I call group of 77 on Depot Street? Yeah?
Yeah.
That was built by Turbo to assist handicapped people. Group of 77. Look at that building today. It's still, I know the building right by the gutter, Depot Street there. By the mosque, right there. The vice president, former vice president, was in charge of that building 12 years. What did he do there to even expand the building to see? And his wife was in charge. There's a budget for that building. What did they do there to change, to take some people from on the street and put them in that building? The building remains the same today. And there's all money there. But is that money enough? It may not be enough. But when you are in charge, what is the help you're looking for outside to improve that facility? To help change the life of those who are unfortunate. Those who do not have that physical ability to do everything. What is it being done there? Today, you see it, it looks the same. Group of 77, you see, look at us. These are the questions we need to be asking these people. And they may shy away, fine. They don't want to come on platform, but Mr. So, what our responsibility is to continue to propound this issue. So when other hear and they go someone will ask them, so oh, I heard them ask this man this question, saying he don't want to go on that side. But our responsibility is to continue to put this question out there so the public can know who want to trust with power, how they're going to take the country, how they're going to solve this problem. Because these are tough issues.
Okay.
You can't just come and say, oh, no. I'm pressure as I know. You have to tell us. Because these people are part of the society. regardless of the way they were born or what situation they find. Cannot neglect.
Can the public, the citizen, take a public action through lawsuit, for example, of then been violation?
Being
a protocol in Liberia?
Don't know.
That one is a hair scratching one.
Yeah, I don't know what they can go because
let's take a review of let's do some sampling method here to see what we have here. Okay, let's acknowledge our man Labla Fokpat and watching from Mangibi Kakata. Thank you so much for being away this morning. Of course, our own man Emmanuel Boa is in Norway. Washington Collins is in New Jersey, of course. Tonight, good evening. Also, thank you. Based in New Jersey. Let's see, a tire. It says in Oakland, California. Okay, Jersey is in the house here this evening. Sandra Johnson. I say good evening, my dear brother. Now, man, Dwellers, night to share. Oh my, hey, Dweller, you now spot the whole conversation. You come from a share business. I love that program. All things considered on NPR. Yeah, that's my favorite, Dweller. I'm telling you. And when I went there, I told them, you know what, I gotta use this name. They said, go right ahead. Okay, man. You say, like my propose here. Hey, propose been here. All right. DJ Wale Campau is based in San Diego, California. Thank you so much. Agnes Barclay Young, thank you for training in with us here this evening. President Dan Dennis, thank you for watching here. Let's Seku, say hello. How you doing, Seku? Thank you for being with us. Let's just give recognition before we go. Where is my man? Oh my goodness. What is John doing to us this evening? Where is he coming from with something to business? Believe me, by the time I jump off this line, he's gonna be calling me. I'm not gonna pick up his phone. Let him call Amos George. All right. Yeah. Look out for fun. It's just so. Emperor Joy, how are you guys doing? Oh, okay. Where is Mr. Really? Where is Mr. What do people want to do with something too?
Oh, but he's part of the team. Everybody, they say what? The people say
my own man, Venetia. Oh Lord, this thing I'm showing, I'm putting myself in trouble with something here. I believe we Mr. So be back on the show. He makes the show very interesting. The liberal progressive, yeah. Oh Lord, okay, Facebook user. It is only Liberia will see educated young men fighting to elect 90 years. Oh my God. Comments coming here, we're reading. That's not in any way reflect the views and opinions of Liberia Public Radio, but we facilitate this hardcore conversation here. This is what he said. It is only Liberia will see educated young men fighting to elect 90 years old grandpa to their president. Something is seriously wrong with that picture. My goodness. I don't know what Dan is supporting that. Okay. It is only Liberia will see educated. Okay, that's a repeat of that. And I mean, Stephen Keita working for government and making themselves rich. Okay, I think he's responding here. No honest politician. I'm not sure. And our man Darius is based in the southwestern eastern side. Zulu Whiskey. He's watching from Granger. He's going to be giving us some updates tomorrow. We are hearing some sort of protest is in the making. So we don't know yet. We're yet to authenticate that information, but we're going to be getting an update tomorrow on 50-50 during the relay just before T-Max comes on. He's stay tuned with us. And the Honorable William K. Glade, the former representative of Granger County, is here with us this evening from Baltimore area, Maryland. Mr. Dan say, I'm volunteering to provide data to people who are reporting from Liberia. Thank you so much. And Eduardo comes back here. Liberia, the major problem is equality education, so that will make citizens make critical decisions on public servants. As long as Liberians kids are without quality education, the problem will continue for a very long time. Yeah. Well, these are very comments. Just let me know. Thank you so much, Dan. And Daniel Kakula, good morning from Banga City, Bon County. My man, Pajoy, I said it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kakula said, "Oh, hello, person know your Pat Joy, long time." See,
Yeah, I know.
the guy he just sent me a text that he preparing a petition, so you go wrong. Okay, so as I'm hoping to provide update, absolutely. These are some of the fields we want to sample here this evening. Here, let me go to our man, Joseph Conto here. So the former vice president doesn't mention the group of 77 when he was speaking of his accomplishments while serving in governments of Liberia. The former vice president is quick to claim that he led the RPMC successfully and benefited the Liberian people. However, he served as vice president for 12 years, but yet he couldn't reconstitute the LPMC. Jesus, just a conto. Don't start trouble with us here this evening. Okay, Venetia say, I am watching from Pennsylvania. Please bring, oh law. Why did I go to this other line here? Please bring Mr. Toe. Please bring back Mr. Toe. Is that bring back our money campaign? They are getting to a donkey. I'm gonna bring something Toe back.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, so Librarian makes the show hot. The liberal will be held in contempt. Okay, well, folks, every good thing must come to an end. We are about to bring down the curtains yet. In a minute, wrap off for us here. You did a lot of punches. Let's get the recommendations and the way forward here. Wrap it up in a minute.
Yeah, Mr. So it just any nation, if the young people are not educated, that nation is doomed to fail. Because education will help to inform them to make informed decisions. And if it's not done, we cannot buy our way out. People must be educated, must be trained. And this is one guy today, the guy was asked what he want with all the development taking around. And the young man said, the same thing I'm saying, he said, look, let me tell you, all these things are supposed to coincide. What soil, the less soil competent or holistic approach, everything. He said, you can build all the infrastructure you're talking about. But what about the human mind, the development of the human mind?
All right.
The capacity building. If it's lacking, what is project development? What does it mean? Zero. So that is the approach we need to take. Education will change the surrounding, the behavior, the development of our people. And let me just all my people here, Mr. So I try to get some people from Bon County. You know the Bon County Association got 2 associations in America.
Wow.
And I've seen one of the flyers, they're having one of the celebrations. They say,
you send it to me?
Huh?
You say you sent it to me already?
No, I will send it to you.
Oh, okay.
I try to get in touch with the leaders to find out what is happening because
we want to host a peace conference among them.
I mean, I'm not the guy most senior people in the country that can hold that, but I'm concerned that if one country got 2 organizations, what would be the development agenda of that country, and how can the people be unified? Because
one has how you call it, independent status, and they get independent council of patriarch, and why they can't get independent Bon County Association?
No, so this is serious. I plan to do something because I'm trying to get in touch with some of the people. Because I'm going to turn them.
Let's do this here. Let's not be judgmental. Run 2 groups and let's see here and see and find the root causes of this thing. People we got to
election. But what I'm saying is these people should put the country above the personal beliefs or ego. Because in America, you got 2 Bon County associations. Then what is the message you're sending back home? It's a thing that people doing in the country. The real progress in the country, but the country is divided. The leaders are not working together. So how can the country make progress? And so it's the same thing now.
Okay.
With America. But I try to with the leaders to see if they will be willing to come on the platform to have this, to have some discussion around it. And if any senior man from Bon County, you listen,
SOS call. Okay, well, Amos Joy from Atlanta to Georgia is a senior political analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. The liberal progressive was successful in labeling you far right or whatever. The guy is, I don't know. He always does that. Anytime we bring people here, our man, he met a guy from Nairobi, Kenya. He said, Nairobi, the man at Nairobi, in fire your language. You're not even loaded Liberian. Professor Zablo, he coined his name, Twitter, his name, CDC professor. And then when you bring here, he's just something here. Yeah, he's a good guy. But Joyce, I want to thank you so much for your time this evening. Of course, always. We want to thank you. We're going to be back here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This time, we're going to be having a group organized under the banner of Friends of Twawan Gonglo, who is a former Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, is now on the road seeking for the higher office of the land. We'll have to talk to him. But George, thank you so much for your time and expertise always giving back to the community.
Thank you, Mr.
All right. And of course, to our valuable listeners and viewers and in radio, television land, we want to thank you so much for sharing your evening to your morning, your afternoon, depending on your location, with us here on LPR. If this is the first time, we wholeheartedly welcome you on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio. So you can follow us, go on Facebook, and just type in Liberia Public Radio, get the notification bell, click on there, you're going to see the drop box, and then tap on the all notifications. Interestingly, just to keep you in the loop, LPR now is sharing news content with Sky Communication Network. You know, the man who, when he comes on, good morning, Morovia, good morning, Bapolu, good morning, Sano, T-Max Jirate. His program is really here. We are working behind the scene. There's going to be a coordination. T-Max is going to be in Liberia. I'm going to be here. The Liberal going to be on the other side. Amos George is going to be on the other side. And we're going to provide analysis, commentary as it unfolds on the political process in Liberia, holding everyone, you, me, all will be held accountable. We're not just going to let everything, we're not just going to leave it. We want to encourage you for your first time, stay with us. Our mailbag is opened. Go back to the live view. You can get us on LIB Messenger. You can send an inbox as to how we can improve, enhance, and what we can do. And you can also suggest. We are not selective who come here. We do not just believe in the elite or the high-profile politician. You Liberians are more valuable to this network. So if you have any issue you want to talk about, come and let us know. Tell us. You want to come on, that's okay. You want us to have the talking points, we'll do a search, we'll find it out, and we'll do it. The only thing we can do is to necessarily maybe say things that you want us to talk because it suits your political taste. That one, we can't do that one. That's what we can do. But we want to be honest to tell you things that you need to know. And as I told you, we are in a collaboration. It means we have to help our sister network. And so we will be begging you, we'll be asking you for your assistance, for your help, whatever phone ship you can give, whether it's an Android phone, whether it's an iPhone. If you're being protecting, believe me, I will sing one crown song here you won't believe. I will dance to the rhythm. All right? But I will be coming to you. Why? We are making massive preparation to give you on-the-spot, professional reporting, fair, balanced, subjective, proportional, that everyone will be given the opportunity to express, speak his or her mind in a civil context. And of course, our collaborations with the African Star newspaper is not excluded in the process. Commentary is going to be coming here on this network, holding us, everybody, stakeholders, actors, be holding all accountable. And of course, with the media, we need to hold ourselves accountable as well in this process. The media is on an obligation to highlight some of these high-call issues in the country. The underprivileged, these victims who called the Cordent Zoko. I don't know how that name came about, who is the creator or author or the origins of that name. There's a need now that we're going to put a SOS call that the media take responsibility and change the narrative of this people stereotyping these peoples and see them as a rejected people of our country, which of course is not good for our country. I want to thank you so much for sharing your evening to your morning with us. I'm Alfonso Z, and so the old man on the wall now. It's time for me to go. Tomorrow evening, join me here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The group put together here in the diaspora, they are giving their political support to Councillor Tuawon Gonglo. We need to ask them why, how they got to this point, and why Tuawon Gonglo. They all must be here accountable, not just under the principal who is seeking the higher office of the land. Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. I'm a traditionalist, and so I will take you to neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire with this closing song. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye. If you don't know the crown that asked Alex Shah or called the Liberal Progressive, he's going to give you the interpretations of this one. But let's put our hands together to build a vibrant Liberia. That's what the song is saying. It's very meaningful. It makes a lot of sense to me. Take me into Grand Jita County this evening here. Oh man, Zulu whiskey, or maybe cross over to Ivory Coast and do some Bashika dance right there, right? We are traditionalists. We have to exhibit and showcase the cultures of Africa. And in the interest of African solidarity, we got to reach across the border.
I just wanna die.